2 now plus seasons of the series, and got his best ever finish in an SRX main here.
Right
1
here?
year ago, got his first podium here at Stafford. So TT's got this old place figured out pretty well, but he's got Denny Hamlin, toe in, toe out, toe straight, next to him on the front row.
He's towed, and he got Clint Boyer back there in third place, Ryan Newman there in fourth.
Marco Andretti is going to start in 5th position. You see the starting lineup coming across top of the screen. Tony Stewart will line up in 6th position.
Then you got Bobby Labonte, Brad Keselowski back there, 8th and 9th, getting ready to fire up for some short track racing.
Keselowski, Harvick, Schrader, and Deegan rounding out the starting order for our main event. So the distance here at Stafford tonight, 75 laps around this half-mile track. Caution laps will count until the last 10 laps. Yellow in the last 10 laps, they don't get any closer to the checkered flag, and this could be interesting, unlimited attempts at a green flag finish.
You will be entertained here for the next hour or so, for sure.
Oh, look what the fans are doing.
It's going to be good racing. All the fans, they got their phones out.
How cool is that?
Got lights flashing. That's cool from the in-car. And the drivers see that. Obviously, you see that from the in-car, but the drivers see that too. And that just shows how engaged everybody is. And as a driver, that's neat. Like, it's one of the reasons why I love racing at Bristol so much is because the fan experience, everybody's right there. You hear everyone cheering, sometimes booing, but you hear all the noise. And that part, sometimes for me, it's a lot of booing, but I don't know. In the car, sometimes it's loud enough, so it's okay. But you see that engagement. That's so cool.
All right, they're coming to their feet now because the pace truck is off. The main event at Stafford Springs, Connecticut is about to get underway. The Camping World SRX Series, season number 3.
A lot of wheel spin on the start. Look at that car in the bottom.
Whoa, Marco Andretti.
What a launch he had at the restart zone. And I believe you can do that in SRX. You don't have to wait to the start-finish line. I think it's when you get to that restart line, it's hammered down, and I think that was okay.
Here is Clint Boyer looking for 2nd place, and he's got it. Denny Hamlin now crosses over inside of Paul Tracy, and Hamlin's going to get 3rd. This is from Marco Andretti's car. Hello. That's Boyer, isn't it?
Boyer. He said, I kind of want the lead right now. I don't care how many laps there's to go. I think he knows maybe one of the fastest cars is right behind him in Denny Hamlin. We've seen the speed he had in the first heat. And I think Clint's like, I'm going to have to get out here and run. Here he goes again, right on him. He really drives in the corner. And Denny's able to drive in the corner, too. It makes you wonder, is Marco Andretti just have the corners backed up? Maybe he's saving some tire. I don't know, but he definitely has a corner backed up. Here comes Denny Hamlin into turn 1 on the bottom of Clint.
All right, so Andretti gets a little bit of a gap on what is now a fight for 2nd with Hamlin underneath Boyer. Hey, Marco, last year's SRX champion, and folks forget that he did it with a broken wrist.
That happened in the last race.
Yep, he broke his wrist in the main at Sharon Speedway in Pennsylvania in a crash. As we have telemetry on people, that's Denny Hamlin's heart rate right now as he races around in the 80-something degree heat here at Stafford.
Well, he's just starting off here. We're very early in the
spins,
race.
2 cars around, turn 4. And more are going to be stacked up in the jam-up. Oh, boy. Schrader got caught up in it. Bobby Labonte. There's Harvick. And I believe that's Newman driving away. It is in that backup car, now orange-colored for Newman. And that doesn't look good for Labonte as he limps away. Ooh.
It looks like it already started there. Hard to say how it started, and you just see the stack up, everybody on the brakes. Here it is from Bobby Labonte. So just get into each other ahead of him and stop. Oh. That's the old chain reaction there.
Well, Harvick got jacked up, literally, by another race car. He's gone to the pit lane. Bobby Labonte's on the pit lane with damage to his machine, and we're under caution in our Thursday Night Thunder main event at Stafford for the Camping World SRX Series. Marco Andretti is the leader.
World, we make seeing America fun and affordable. Take home this new Coleman Lantern or Rubicon for as little as $5 a day.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Or this new travel trailer for less than $10 a day. $15 gets you a new fifth wheel. And for only $20 a day, you could drive off in a brand new motorhome.
5, 10, 15, 20.
We make RVing fun, simple, and affordable. See America for less at Camp.
With our Camping World SRX Series main event, first of 6 to come your way on Thursday Night Thunder here on ESPN. Marco Andretti's the leader. Man, what a start he got on the initial green.
Yeah, this is he jumped the start. Let's be honest about what happened here. He jumped the start, but I'd say he got away with one. Right there's a line there off of turn 4. That's the restart line. In the driver's green, they say you go at the restart line, which is right up here. You see the line going across the racetrack right there. That one. That doesn't feel okay in my book, but in this book, I guess it's okay.
The light was green, and he said, I'm going.
He went with it.
All right, well, now they're going to have a chance to get that green light and go again. Pace truck is off, and it will be Andretti with Clint Boyer to his outside. Denny Hamlin, Paul Tracy in row 2, coming to the green.
Well, Marco knows that move. That's why you see him go all the way down to the apron to block that. He said, I know how this works.
Ooh, Tony Kanaan inside of Paul Tracy as Denny Hamlin muscles his way to the inside of Clint Boyer for second.
They had a good battle going right before that caution, Denny Hamlin and Clint Boyer. See Denny with a great launch off of turn 4. He's going to turn inside of Andretti.
Whoa. Now remember, there are no spotters like you might have an individual spotter for your car in a NASCAR or an IndyCar race. These guys have a radio connected to race control for safety, but they're on their own to look out the mirrors and figure out when somebody's inside or not.
And I just learned this, guys, and that explains a lot of the wrecks at this point, where there's no one driving them through the wrecks. There's nobody saying clear to get down. They don't have a great picture of their surroundings, and they're driving cars that they don't typically drive. So they're learning their surroundings without any help.
If you're new to SRX, these are purpose-built race cars. Series founder Ray Evernham designed these cars. They're not an offset oval track car. Like an oval track car is kind of biased to the left side because it's always turning left. These cars are a straight-on chassis that could be used for road racing, and they can be used on pavement or dirt, so they're a little hard to handle on these oval tracks when you're turning left all the time.
But if they're all the same, who cares, right? That's what makes it a good race. And so no one has an advantage here. That's why you see the racing is always so tight in the SRX series.
So Denny Hamlin into the lead with Marco Andretti second.
Yeah, one slow up there.
Is that Harvick, I believe? It is.
That's Pro. I think that's Stewart.
Tony Stewart is off the pace. And coasting toward the entry to the pit road.
And there is a point system to this whole thing and a champion at the end of it. So having a bad race like Tony Stewart has right now as he rolls down pit road, it's going to hurt his championship hopes. But the way these guys race, I'm telling you, they're all going to have a bad race at some point.
Boyer nudges his way to the inside of Andretti.
Andretti tried to sneak down right behind Clint. He's able to do it, but then he gets in the back of Clint there. As they're sideways, he's going to send it down in there on him.
Fun.
This is great racing. This racetrack is just made for really any kind of car. But these SRX races are great on this racetrack.
This is for second place. Ooh, bump, bump. Hey, I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's kind of common courtesy. If you get moved out of the way, well, you go right back and you move that person right out of the way. That's just how it works.
Wow, look at Boyer. Try and sail it in there.
You see Clint, a very interesting style there. He's able to drive in hard, kind of let it float up in the center, and then drive it back down by the corner exit, get the run that he needs. And this isn't going to be an easy pass for either one of them right here. And there's a line of cars behind them just waiting to pounce.
Yep, that's what I was just going to say. Remember Tony Kanaan told us he thought he had a pretty good car in the heat race despite losing the hood? That's TK that's right behind this side-by-side, well, now nose-to-tail race for second place. So Tony Kanaan up to fourth right there.
Clint's trying so hard to make this pass. He's using up a lot of tire. You see him sideways coming off the corners, trying to make this move. He's going to try to get the drive off of turn 2, which it seems like they're able to do very well here at Stafford. He's going to clear him here. Now, does he get hit again is the question.
And behind them, Paul Tracy gets through Tony Kanaan. And PT moves himself back up to fourth place. So it's Hamlin, Boyer, Andretti, Tracy, Kanaan, then Ryan Newman in that backup car, Haley Deegan next in line. And we mentioned Tony Stewart off the pace and on pit road a little bit ago. Matt Yoakum's there.
The inaugural champ on pit lane here, chasing a fuel pressure problem on the 14. Not sure yet what the issue is, but that's what the early problem. Not sure what the answer is going to be.
I don't know specifically what the problem is, but I do know enough that you can't run the engine without fuel for very long.
Yeah, you kind of need that to make these things running. And that's, I mean, it's sports, and in automobile racing, there's a lot of machine that you rely on as a race car driver, and it's got to work together. And unfortunately, sometimes things happen.
Yeah, the long faces on a couple of the crewmen there on that camera shot say it all there. All right, so Tony Stewart is on pit road and will not have a good opening night to this Camping World SRX Series. Clint Boyer's hanging right with Denny Hamlin. They've put a little bit of a gap on Marco Andretti, who's in third. I started to talk about Marco before winning the championship at the end of last season with a broken wrist sustained in a crash during the main event. He finished the event, did all the photos and all the rest. Then he had to have surgery on his left wrist, have a plate and screws put in, was taken out about a month before he competed in this year's Indianapolis 500. Talked to him today. He said, it got kind of sore during the Indy 500, still recovering from that surgery, but I'm 100% now.
Well, that's good to hear. And it shows how bad he wanted it. And
oh, yeah.
You think about Marco Andretti, I mean, he's not a stock car racer by trade, right? He comes from an IndyCar family, obviously the famous Andretti family, led by Mario. Just an incredible story to see him racing a stock car, winning the championship in one of these things is really special and cool to see. And he's always hanging around. It seems like he's always hanging around in the top 5. When you watch all these races, Marco Andretti is just always in the middle of it.
Now, we may see Marco in a couple of more NASCAR races later in this season, but up next for the next 5 weeks after this is trying to win back-to-back Camping World SRX championships.
You see Denny there. Denny's probably playing this pretty smart right now. As a short track racer, you get out front and you're able to manage your race. You can manage your tires, manage your brakes, how your car is building a certain direction in the balance. He's able to run a smart race. Now, when you go back here a little bit, you see all those guys racing hard. They don't have that advantage right now. They're racing. They need to keep beating their stuff up. But right now, you got 2 short track guys that have grown up doing this stuff, right? You got Clint Boyer that has just done this for so long. They're both kind of playing a cat and mouse game. They're saving their car, saving their tires, keeping the pressure on each other, and then when it gets down to the end, you're going to see it really fire up.
Of course, Denny Hamlin, three-time Daytona 500 winner, has had an enormously busy week behind the wheel of race cars. As you watch him work here in the hot and humid conditions tonight, he spent 2 days tire testing his NASCAR Cup Series machine for Goodyear down in
there
Texas.
with him.
Were you?
I was there too.
So you know. He flew back home to the Charlotte area. He was in a simulator this morning in the Charlotte area doing some work for his day job.
Yep.
Then flew up here to race tonight, and then for all of you guys, it's on to New Hampshire for the Cup Series weekend up there after we're done here tonight.
Well, I get the air conditioning tonight.
Yeah, yes, you do.
Talk about hot. It was hot in Texas. It was 88 degrees at 5 in the morning down there.
Wow.
Woo. Now, Denny was not there at 5. He doesn't wake up that early.
As you heard Yukon National Championship head coach Danny Hurley talking about Denny's basketball connection. Of course, Denny co-owner with Michael Jordan of the NASCAR Cup Series team that he's an owner with. Is a pretty good race.
Yeah, you see Clint, he's really able to keep the pressure on Denny right here. They really separated themselves from the rest of the field. But Clint's really keeping the pressure right here.
Yeah, watch behind this. New car in third place. Paul Tracy just got by Marco Andretti and picked up third position. So PT, who came off his first SRX podium finish here at Stafford a year ago, started on the pole, got shuffled back, and now has worked his way back up into a podium position. And now behind them, mixing it up again a little bit. Marco kind of getting shuffled back in that line. He's going to lose several spots here. Yeah, look at that group.
And they're slicing and dicing back there.
Still got Haley Deegan in the mix in that group. Ken Schrader and Bobby Labonte have been dicing back and forth a little bit back there. Bobby's car damaged in that incident we had in turn 4 earlier.
Yeah, you'll see there, Paul Tracy kind of able to separate himself as well, seeming like he's got a pretty good car and being able to manage some things. And Marco seems to be having a hard time, right? When you're the car that everyone is stacked up behind, it's a matter of time before everyone starts losing patience and they start getting more and more aggressive. You just want to separate yourself, get a little bit of breathing room before they get to you. Haley Deegan drives in Harley. The nose just fall down into the corner. This is a great shot to see all the different lines that you can run. It's very technical racetrack. It doesn't take a very different line. Like a couple feet here is a really big deal, and how you use that transition. Where that solid white line is a banking transition. And when you pull it down on that, it may help your car turn and get you point, but it's going to hurt your drive off the corners. So it's very finicky. You got to be very precise on how you drive the car here at Stafford.
Trying to see a couple of these cars looking from the inside really have some serious brake glow going too. Paul Tracy just running wide up in the corner. Tony Kanaan trying to get by him, but look at the brakes on the front of Kanaan's car.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh
wow.
My gosh, that's a lot of. And usually by now, like off the corner, they start to cool off. He is definitely on the brakes really, really hard. And what does that do? All that heat is transferred into the tire and hurts your grip.
All right, caution flag is out. Quick break. Back to Stafford for the restart.
America fun and affordable. Take home this new Coleman Lantern or Rubicon for as little as $5 a day.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Or this new travel trailer for less than
There is the scene as Denny Hamlin climbs from his car in what will no doubt be an abbreviated victory lane.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
celebrating a win tonight here at Stafford to get the photos quickly taken as the grandstands quickly empty. Oh, and it's already started. Here comes the weather just now. Here are our final results from our abbreviated main event tonight.
And what a good race we saw there. A lot of drivers that kind of went through some adversity throughout the night were able to overall come with a good finish. Look at Ryan Newman, probably the best example of that, with a wreck in the first heat, win the second heat, get a backup car, and finish second.
Here's a look at the winning move. Denny Hamlin from his onboard, muscling his way around Marco Andretti.
Yeah, Denny did a good job there, just being patient behind him for a couple laps, but then eventually getting underneath him. And then, like we always say, he was able to manage his car out front, save his tires, save his brakes. Like I said, Ryan Newman was coming. I like to see how that was going to play out. The good news is it's going to play out next week.
Yeah, we get to try it again right here at Stafford Speedway next week. Remember the events in Vermont, so we've moved our race here to Stafford Speedway again. Thursday Night Thunder next week, 9 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN from right here at this same place. So, Denny Hamlin is our winner tonight. Want to give a big thanks to the crew for all they've done to get this thing up and running for week number one. Be safe, everybody, getting it all torn down tonight. And big thanks to Nicole Briscoe, Matt Yoakum, who have taken shelter, as they should, on their wireless equipment outside. Joey, thanks. You were terrific.
Thank you. I had a blast up here. Can't wait. I got a couple more on the schedule this year. Can't wait to be back up here in the booth.
So Denny Hamlin wins at Stafford on Thursday Night Thunder. Sports Center is next. See you next week.